FYI, yes, everyone, I'm aware you can see me on stream. I didn't have anything else to put up because this is so, like, real on the fly. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'm actually just going to let the raw stream go live, so I'm not even editing this out. Just fast forward till when the actual talking starts. I'll remove this message on YouTube when I'm going to start talking. So when you see this message disappear, that's when I'm going to start. It's going to be a few minutes here because people are just joining the stream right now. Thanks. Hello, if you are currently on stream, I apologize I'm taking so long to start. My website is taking forever to update and put this stream on my website, which is where I want people to watch it, obviously, so you can chat along with watching it. So give me a minute here. I keep refreshing. I'm waiting for my website to up. All right, it just updated. Wow, it literally just updated. Give me a second. I'll tweet. Give me another minute or two for people to join, and then we're gonna start. Okay, not surprising, everyone. The stream is growing exponentially in viewers. I expect it to balloon soon. I'm only going to give it about less than maybe 2-3 more minutes because I want to get started. I want to do gameplay. I want to actually work tonight and not have this lingering on or having any kind of a lasting effect on anything I do. I will be removing the text shortly, and then we'll get started. Alright everyone, we're going to get started. I am not going to delay this any longer. Like I said, I don't want this to take some kind of a large impact on my personal life or my work schedule or anything like that, because that would basically be giving what these people what they want. You know what I mean? So we're going to get started. Let's actually remove, if I can find, there it is. Remove that text, right? Alright, and I am, just in case, right now I'm live streaming, but just in case something goes wrong with the live stream, I hope it doesn't, but if it does, I'm going to be recording this too, so I can upload this to YouTube. But if you are watching this on YouTube and you saw that whole pre-segment that had the text over, I apologize, because I'm going to be doing more work tonight. I don't want to have to spend extra time uploading this. It's just going to be the raw stream is going to go live on YouTube, and that could be what people want to, can watch on there, okay? Alright, so I'm going to start recording. Just in case, you know, something happens, I still have a backup of this. So, everyone, hello. And, unfortunately, over the course of the time that I have done, things for YouTube, things for Twitch TV, and now live streaming on YouTube, and just had an internet-based career and interactions with people over the internet, there have been momentary times in this, I don't even know if you want, what do you want to call it? A saga, an endeavor? I don't call it like a career. You can't call this a career, right? But you could certainly call it some kind of an event. It's been a portion of my life that started in 2008, all the way through doing this as a hobby, all the way through the end of 2010 when I lost my job, and that was probably one of the first biggest epic moments of change in my life, right? And then after that happening, doing YouTube full time, you know, for several years, being able to partner with Machinima, that was a huge thing. Live streaming, which I adapted, moving across the country last year to the state of Washington. There's been all these momentous and landmark events in my life that I've kind of, you know, you bookmark them or you put, you know what I mean? Milestones. That's the word I'm looking for. In my career of being a YouTuber, a streamer, I've had milestones along the way that I've placed out. And you know, unfortunately, I have to say this. I hate the fact that I have to say it, but today was a milestone for completely the opposite reasons of anything that I would like to say or talk about. But because of what happened, because of course it is such a dramatic event, such a traumatic event, and quite honestly, such a dangerous event that happened today, I felt that I would come out myself only a couple hours after it happened. I would explain to you exactly what happened. In regards to me being swatted today, because that is the subject of this video, explain the circumstances around it, and basically lay down my feelings about it and get it off my chest. Because the bottom line is, when something like this happens, you can't just, even though I need to say this is business as usual, this is life as usual, just keep moving on, which I'm going to do. I didn't interrupt my work earlier today for it or anything like that, and I don't plan on massively changing or you know, doing anything different with my work. In the future, it's going to remain the same. So those of you who loved my content and stuff like that, you don't have to worry about any changes or anything like that. But I have to at least take a moment out to explain the situation as a moment of reflection, as a moment of observance, as a moment of warning to others of everything that's been going on and things that could happen to you or may happen in the future to me again, okay? So, a year ago, I moved out of the state of Connecticut and I moved to the state of Washington. Okay, now when I did this, there was a lot of negativity. And now, keep in mind, over the past 3 years on YouTube, there's been a lot of negativity around me because everyone says, Phil, Darkside Phil, DSPGaming, whatever you want to call me, is a guy that doesn't deserve everything he has, right? He has a YouTube channel where all he does is he uploads unedited video content of games. He sucks at the games. He swears. He curses out the game developers. He swears at the other players he plays with in multiplayer online. He's the worst kind of gamer, and he doesn't deserve any kind of success, yet I've had success. So, for whatever reason, this has irked people, and for the past 3 years, it all started around 2012, all the way up to now, present day, people have a major issue with me, with the fact that I can make a living. And of course, the people will nitpick things that they particularly hate about me, whether I said that I hated Minecraft years ago, or I made a supposedly racist comment, even though I've never done anything racist in my entire life. They'll understand some kind of humor, they take it the wrong way, and they'll say I'm a racist, and all these kind of really negative, nasty, slanderous things have spread about me over YouTube, over everywhere, right? And so you search on the internet for Darkside Phil or DSPGaming, and although you may bring up my YouTube channel first, the next thing you find are 500 slanderous things about me, videos of people shitting on me, and it became this movement of negativity against me, okay? A year ago, it was early 2014. I said I absolutely need to move, okay? I absolutely need to get out of Connecticut because I lived in Connecticut since 2000, well, for my whole life, but I owned my own place in Connecticut since 2007. And the fact that I was actually, making a living in Connecticut, doing videos on YouTube, being self-employed, some things were incredibly expensive. Taxes, just the overall general cost of things in Connecticut. There were some really negative things. There were state tax in Connecticut that I was paying that I don't have to pay if I go to certain states. There were a lot of negative things going on for me to continue to live in the state of Connecticut. The assets of living in Connecticut, the positives far were underwhelmed by the amazing amount of negatives, the cost and everything. And if I was going to progress forward and continue to do this as what I wanted to do with my life, as a job, as an occupation, and also to continue to entertain you guys and on a daily basis, I knew that I had to make changes. I couldn't just keep bleeding money in Connecticut. So I made this big endeavor to move across the country. And when I went across the country, I'll be honest, there was a ton of negativity, even more negativity. Phil can afford to move across the country. Now he owns 2 homes, so obviously he's a ridiculous amount of money. He's filthy rich, but he complains about views and money. You know, the usual. No matter what I do in my life now, I understand. I am a public persona. I will now be under a microscope of public view for the rest of my life, okay? Even if I intend it or not, no matter what I do, I'm going to be under this microscope. So that's what happened. I moved, and people absolutely hated the fact that I moved across the country and could afford it, and basically I technically still own 2 homes, even though I'm trying to get rid of the place in Connecticut because it's way too expensive, and I can't afford to have 2 homes anymore, okay? And immediately when I moved, I said, I moved out of Connecticut to a private community. It's a nice place. My address is not, public. I don't have a publicly listed phone number. I live in a more secluded area, so it's not like there's street traffic that I hear, but at the same time, it's not like someone can just walk up to my door and knock on the door. Because I did. When I lived in Connecticut, my address was public, and I did every once in a while had people coming by, and there were people doing stupid, silly shit. You know what I mean? Nothing that was anything entirely super negative or creepy or anything like that. But, you have kids who will do a prank pizza order or something like that. Really stupid shit, okay? So when I moved, I said, this is great. It'll be a better thing for me. I'm living with my girlfriend now for the first time. Overall, I wouldn't give it up for the world. I said the move across the country, all right, was one of the best things I ever did in my life. And I will stand by that statement, even though it was incredibly expensive, even though I'm in a lot of debt right now because of it, and even though I've changed different things about my business and my life, and it's a lot different now living here than it was back when I was a bachelor in Connecticut, I wouldn't go back. Has been that much of a positive change for me, okay? But with the positive comes the negative, and of course, as soon as I announced that I was moving, that was it. People had to find out, what's the new address? How can we annoy Phil now? Because we're really mad that he's making a living doing this YouTube thing, so let's do it. And they had to try to find out every which way to identify where do I live or whatever. And some people actually took it as like a public challenge, I guess, because I said I was moving to a private community. We gotta find Phil's address, and we gotta dox Phil, and we gotta get his information and put it out on the internet, and yada, yada, yada. The good news is this. When I moved here, I took precautions, all right? Knowing full well that there is some kind of a group of people in this world that literally follow my every move just to be negative about me and to say I did something wrong and to be angry about the fact that I am successful. I took precautions, and I said I had the feeling there will eventually be people who will try to do something nasty. And so as soon as I moved here, I was settled in for about a month. I actually heard about other YouTubers like Kutra from The Creatures, right? Who had been doxxed majorly. He got doxxed on stream. Not doxxed, excuse me. I said doxxed, I screwed up. Swatted. He got swatted on stream. And on stream, SWAT team came in, arrested him, everything, right? Cleared his place, and they cleared blocks of where this guy worked out of. And it was just a horrible, horrible situation. But he's probably not the only person, but he's the most public person where you could watch the whole thing. People, all over recorded the streams or whatever of it. And I said, I got to protect myself and my girlfriend. We are family now, and I needed to protect us. And I said, I'm going to preemptively, before anything happens, I'm going to call the local police department, explain the situation, explain to them exactly who I am and what I do. And I'm going to let them know that their chances are someone's going to find out my address and they're going to try something at some point. I don't know when, but it may happen. And incidentally, I'll be honest, I thought it was going to happen a year ago. I thought as soon as I moved here, I'd be here for a couple weeks and it would happen. But for whatever reason, this is the other thing, I have no effing reason to know what happened. I have no clue. Nothing in particular in my knowledge has happened anytime recently. I've had zero interactions with anyone that have really been, negative. To the point where I can't even say, oh, it must have been that guy that I pissed off, or I really had a controversial thing that I said about this on this date. It was nothing like that. Nothing like that has happened recently. So I have no clue what could have prompted anything. But a year ago, I called my local police department, and I said, here's who I am. I might be swatted. Here's what's going on. And luckily, I have his name. I'm not going to yell his name publicly, but there was a local sergeant in the police department who's like, I know this. He's like, I heard about this in the news. He's like, yeah, that was that kid, right? And he even talked to me. We had a conversation about Kutra. He's like, I heard about this. I can't believe how ridiculous it is. Thank you for letting us know ahead of time. So if something does happen, we will preemptively contact you, and we will make sure that everything is handled, properly. Okay. So this is a year ago when I moved here. So fast forward to this past week, all right? This past week in particular was the build-up to Batman Arkham Knight, which is a huge video game. Everyone's been waiting for this game to come out. In particular, fans of mine have wanted to see me play this game for several years because Arkham Asylum was one of the earlier games I played way back when in, 2009, which was the first year I'd been doing this on YouTube. It was a major playthrough, one of the first ones I did from start to finish with a widescreen camera, and people really liked that and were, wow, comes full circle, Phil can finally do this. So whoever this is, bug up their ass about me, says, this is it, now I'm going to get him, because I know this is a big week for him, his fans are going to want to see him live on stream, I'm going to get this guy, right? So it all started earlier this week with DDoS attacks. So for those who don't know the full situation, yeah, I've been DDoS attacked for about 4 days straight. It started back on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, non-stop, I was DDoS attacked. I take that back, 5 days straight, because it also continued into Tuesday. I was DDoS attacked by someone who had my IP address. Now, I'm not going to go into the details of all of that. I've already taken care of that. I've taken precautions. I'm already, everything's changed. All my information's different. So the people who were doing that cannot do it anymore, and it would take a very, very sophisticated person to get my information and be able to DDoS attack me again. Okay, let's put it that way. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. I'm saying as of right now, myself and my ISP have taken precautions against that from continuing. So for 4 days this was happening, and after 4 days of the poor cable company out here doing work on lines, trying to figure out what it was, right? And then we're checking everything. We had the security department checking my modem and doing router tests, and we finally go into the logs and we find out definitively it's DDoS attacks. We finally say, okay, well, we've now isolated, there's concrete proof Phil's been DDoS attacked. What can we do? And we put our heads together collectively, the company and I, and it was partially me and partially them. We were brainstorming and we realized we could fix the problem, and we did. So as of yesterday, about midday yesterday, I am, at least for now, protected from DDoS attacks. Okay? That's good news. Great. So what happened was, yesterday I said, you know what, I'm not going to stream or anything. I'm just going to record offline. And I'm going to upload my videos to YouTube like I used to do, old school mode, right? Pre-2013 mode, when I didn't live stream at all. Because I need to get some work done. I just need to be uninterrupted, have work done, and then I'll start fresh on Wednesday. Apparently, now I don't know, again, could it be the same person who DDoS attacked me? Could it be multiple parties? Could it just be someone else with a bug up their ass about me? Who knows? But that's not the point. The point is, someone today took it upon themselves to go a step further. In fact, they've now gone the furthest possible step that you can go to basically hurt me without physically coming into contact with me, all right? I just want to make that clear. No one has physically threatened me. No one has come to my home. No one has pulled a gun on me. No one has, come after me with weapons or anything like that. That hasn't happened. But what happened today is the one step before it. It's the worst possible step you can go and but remain anonymous is what happened to me today. And that's the bottom line, is that people are doing this because they can remain anonymous. We're in a new generation of technology where people like me can make a living doing internet-based stuff, And on the going along with that, a whole new persona of public interaction, which then means your information goes public and you've got a whole new level of person who's out there to hurt you, right? So someone who's completely anonymous because the technology is not caught up to find these people, but someone who can hurt me. Today, as I was streaming Batman Arkham Knight earlier, someone called my local police department and told them that I was either in the process of murdering or had murdered my girlfriend and her parents. Now, my girlfriend's parents don't live here. Everyone who knows me and her knows that we moved across this country together last year, and we have no relatives out here. You know what I mean? No one came with us. It's just us. So the story doesn't hold water anyway, but of course the cops aren't fans of mine. They're not watching my content to know that it's just the two of us living here. And they get this threat, and the bottom line is, the cops recently, a year ago, got a similar threat, which we had a conversation with them outside. They had a similar threat in this area of a guy who had said he had killed his family and had a gun and was coming outside with the gun. Basically, the guy was looking to commit public suicide by cop, and it was true. They went there, it was true, and luckily they I guess they either arrested him or whatever happened. I don't know. But that happened about a year ago. So fast forward to today, they have to take this seriously, even knowing that a year ago, I had contacted the police in advance, and I had told them, listen, all this could happen. They still had to take it seriously because it's their job. If they didn't take it seriously and didn't show up and someone was murdered or whatever, now that's the police department's fault for ignoring it, okay? So I'm sitting here, I'm just playing Batman. Now, for those of you who've been playing Batman Arkham Knight, you're going to understand what I'm talking about. I'm sitting here with my semi-noise canceling headphones on. Thank goodness I was using these. These are the Astro A40 headphones, okay? The soundproofing on these isn't very good, meaning when I wear these, I get a little bit of noise cancellation, but I don't get full noise cancellation, all right? So I could still kind of hear things going on around me, but not great. In fact, it does help a lot to keep the game noise isolated. I have other headphones that if I were wearing them, I would have heard nothing, okay? So I'm wearing these headphones, and as I'm wearing them, and I'm playing Batman Arkham Knight, the game is constantly playing radio messages over what it sounds like a radio or intercom of criminals throughout the city, and Batman is intercepting their transmissions. So I'm hearing through my headphones, I'm part of Two-Face's gang, and Two-Face is a real, asshole, and then over here, Scarecrow's a criminal, and blah, blah. So I'm hearing all this radio-style chatter already, okay? What first happens, the police called my phone. But my phone's on vibrate, because if my phone's on ring, you would hear it when I do my gameplay. And incidentally, I was in a portion of the game where it was a lot of heavy driving of the Batmobile, so I didn't even feel the phone vibrate. This controller vibrates when I play, so I didn't even hear this vibrating, okay? So they called me twice. All right, twice. Didn't hear the phone, so now they got to do due diligence. They have to try to enter the home. Luckily, they knew what was going on, and at the corner of my facility here, I'm in a private facility, they came out of their cars, and they pulled out their loudspeaker, and they started saying, attention residents of house, so-and-so, please come out of your home with your hands up, and that was all they said. And that's probably the wisest thing they could say, okay? So I'm not hearing this because I have the headphones on. Right? And I'm playing, and I'm at a portion where I just completed this Riddler challenge, where the Riddler had you go through this crazy, long-ass challenge, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, this would be a witty thing to say, is how is it that the supervillains of Batman can always afford to have insane traps for Batman? Where are they getting the money from? So I literally did this. I paused the game, so there's no game noise anymore. And I started talking, and I was like, how is it, this is the big question or the big mystery about Batman. How do these common criminals get all this money? Do they rob every bank in Gotham over and over? And as I'm saying this, I start to hear more radio chatter in my headphone. I'm like, but the game's paused. I was like, wait a minute. I took my headphones off. I put them down, and I hear outside, attention, residents of go outside right now with your hands up. And I'm like, oh, okay. Now I know what's going on. So basically, whoever, the DDoS attacks that have been going on these past few days and aren't working anymore because I've taken precautions against them. So now they've elevated it to the next level. They're going to SWAT me. Fine. I know exactly what to do. I grabbed Leanna out of her office. We walked outside with our hands up. It was, I have to say, I have to give a huge shout out to local police. A huge shout out to local police. These guys were prepared, but were ready for bullshit. Like, they kind of knew coming in here with to expect bullshit. All right? I'm walking out like this. Leanna's right behind me like this. They look immediately, because they had weapons. There was 20, I swear, about 20 policemen right over here. Some of them had full flak jackets on, ready to bust in the house if they had to. Many of them had fully loaded assault rifles. All right, combat gear, they're ready to go. It wasn't a full SWAT team, but it was a combat team. They were locked and loaded, ready to break into the house if there was a murderer or whatever going on in here. They had to come in, okay? So they're right there, and they immediately see me and Leanna, and the guy, you could see the relief in his face, because these police are expecting the worst. They're thinking there's going to be a murderer, and we have to go in and see a horrendous scene, and we might have to defend ourselves or you know, stop someone, apprehend someone. You know what I mean? So to them, it's like relief, because they're thinking they're going into a life-threatening situation or horrendous situation where someone might be hurt or dead, okay? You can see the relief come over their faces. Oh, thank God it was a prank. It wasn't serious. And we walk right up to them, and as soon as I get up to them, you know, I'm like, can I put my hands down? They say, go right ahead. And they say, and they confirm my name. They got my personal information. They said, you know, we know exactly what's going on. Say no more. Let us clear the house quickly, because that's our job, and we'll be gone in a couple minutes. So they went in, they cleared the house. It took less than 5 minutes, came right out. I explained, you know, they said, so this is what happened, what you warned us. I said, that's exactly what happened. I said, this week in particular, I've been getting DDoS attacks against me to get me off my internet so I can't do my business, and now apparently they're going the next step. And the cop said, we're sorry that we wasted your time. Thank you very much for reacting the way you did. You did it exactly right. Have a nice day. And they drove away. And that was it. And that was the extent of it. Okay? So, literally within the fact that this happened, all right, was about 5 to 10 minutes tops. I'd say probably between the time that I heard them, Leanna and I went outside and came back in was less than 10 minutes. And within 10 minutes, I was back on stream working, okay? So, the good news is, thank God, right, that number one, I got preemptively warned from other people having this done to them that this could happen. Number two, I took the initiative to warn the local police when I did a year ago, so they would have it on file that this could happen. It was just bad luck that I didn't hear my phone vibrate to answer the phone, right? It was just bad freaking luck in that regard. But luckily, it got resolved with no kind of issue. Now, it is in the hands of the local police. I'm absolutely sure they're going to be tracing the call. They're going to be doing whatever they can to try to find out who this was. And the bottom line is, this is a major crime. This is not a prank. This is not a joke. This is not trolling. This is not criticism. This is attempted murder. That is what swatting is. Because what you're trying to do is disrupt someone's business to the point where they could physically be harmed. I was lucky that I called them ahead of time, right? Now, what if I didn't hear the people outside? They had no advance notice, right? And I'm sitting here and I'm playing the game, right? And I have my headphones on and I didn't hear them screaming. And they come into the house and they bust this door down, and God forbid I swing like this and I say, what the? And they think I have a weapon and I'm dead. And you know what? I would not place a fucking iota of blame on the police. I would not place an iota of blame, because that is their job. That is their job, is to protect citizens. And when you get a call like that and you have to take it seriously, you know, and they think that there's a threat, then I will not blame them. That is not who's at fault. Who's at fault is whoever this despicable excuse of someone who thinks they're a human being, but as of today with their actions have proven they are not a human being. We are evolved. This person never evolved. This person is some kind of a sub-fucking human who doesn't actually get some kind of a morality in their head. They don't know right from wrong. And therefore, in their head, they thought what they did was just. That's not an evolved, mature human. That's a subhuman. And that's who pulled this today. Because not only just me, I'm talking about me. You know what I mean? I'm talking about me and my personal situation, and my personal safety, and Leanna's personal safety. We're also talking about the personal safety of everyone who lives in this private community, right? Who could have been drawn into a line of fire by some mistake. Some guy watering his fucking lawn, he pulls out a hoe, right? And a cop doesn't know what's going on. We're talking about the wasted time and money that the police came to come by here. We're talking about the safety of the police coming out here and risking their lives bravely to try to protect citizens. We're talking about a lot of fucking factors here. And this is serious. This is not kiddie shit anymore, you know? And you can say as much as you want, all right, that up to this point, that everything that's been thrown against DSP, Phil Burnell, Darkside Phil, DSPGaming, whatever my moniker you want to give me, the King of Hate, you could say it was in criticism's sake, it was just in trolling sake, it was in good humor, it was in jest, maybe it wasn't in even good humor, it was malicious, but this is by far not only the most serious thing, this is the first life-threatening thing that has ever happened to me in regards to YouTube, and it takes it to the next level, all right? And as a human and as someone who, I tell you right now, I am not going to allow this to stop me or slow me down. I'm not going to sit here all shaken like this, worried about my life or anything like that. I'm going to continue on business as usual like I always have. And I'm not going to let these people fucking get to me, all right? I'm not going to stop streaming. I'm not going to stop uploading videos to YouTube. This changes absolutely nothing about me or anything, because you know what this actually is? It's terrorism. It's using scare tactics to try to change someone so they change their way of life. And I'm not going to give in to it. I'm not going to let people, you know, because they're knocking me off the internet and they got cops coming to my house. I'm not going to allow that to change what I want to do and enjoy and have fun. This 7-year ride on YouTube and, you know, live streaming has been an amazing positive change in my life. It gave my life purpose. It gave me something fun that I could do, that I could share with others, and I've gotten so much feedback saying what you do has overwhelmingly positively affected so many people. There's no fucking way that I would stop because of this. God forbid. No, never would something as petty, as fucking pathetic, by this sub-fucking human would I ever let someone like that change me or my life, ever. So no, it's not gonna change, okay? It's not. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing no matter what. But I got a few things that I want to get off my chest before I move on, because within a couple minutes here of me finishing this video, I'm moving on with my life. But I got a few things that I got to get off my fucking chest right now. And you can agree with me or disagree with me, but now I've earned my fucking time to say this, all right? It's okay, in my opinion, to criticize, to parody, to do things that will make someone positively see something about themselves that maybe could improve or change. And it's a different thing entirely to maliciously attack and to try to degrade, slander, or hurt someone for the sake of doing it. Just for the sake of it, right? I could disagree with someone 1,000,000%, but I'm not going to go after them. I might think that some of these celebrities that are out there today are some worthless humans, right? They have money for the sake of having money. They're celebrities for the sake of being celebrities. But I'm not going to attack them. I'm not going to stalk them. And I'm not going to do anything negative to them. That's life. That's the human condition. There'll be people who are incredibly lucky, and there'll be people who are incredibly unlucky. And I was very, very lucky at this point in my life to find myself somewhere just above the middle, right? And I understand that. So I understand that there's some kind of negative stuff that's going to come from that, all right? But by no fucking means am I going to let people do this kind of shit to me and not say something about it. So, right now, I'm laying down the fucking law. Alright? And I hope that everyone is listening. I really do. Because this is a very important fucking point right now that I'm about to make. You can criticize me as much as you want, and you can say I'm a horrible gamer, and you can say I'm a bad person, and you can say that I'm this and that, and I don't give a shit. I never in my fucking life gave two diddly dicks about what people said about me. And that's why I kept going. That's why I called myself the King of Hate. People don't seem to understand where that moniker came from, so allow me to explain it to those of you who haven't been listening for the past 7 years and try to turn it into something it's not. The reason that I'm called the King of Hate is because I'm a very outspoken and honest person. I called it like it is. I don't fucking sugarcoat anything that I say, and a lot of people don't like that about me. So they try to twist the truth. They try to turn things against me. They try to make me look like a fucking negative person. They try to make me look bad. And what I've done my entire fucking life since I was a kid in school, when the bullies were trying to beat up on me and say shit about me, all the way through all the little jobs and careers and things that I've had where I got shat on and I got treated like dirt and I got fucking laid off after being told I was a great employee, and all the negative shit that I've done in my life, I could have given up. And I could have wadded it up into a fucking little ball, right? And I could have let it be inside of me, and I could have been a negative, nasty person who sits there on the fucking internet and finds someone successful, and I spend my time attacking them, but I didn't. I took that negative shit, and I used it to fucking motivate me to find something that I could be fucking successful at, and I found it. And that's what I do every day now. What I'm fucking good at, because people love what I do, or I wouldn't fucking be here. Alright? I'm the king of hate because I take that negative shit, people telling me I'm not good enough and I'm a piece of shit, and I turn it into motivation to be successful. That's what you need to do with your fucking life. If you're sitting at home right now and you're saying, fuck Phil, I hate Phil, take that negativity about Phil and turn it into motivation for you to do something for yourself. For God's sakes. Hating on me and hating on other people and fucking, DDoSing people and fucking swatting people isn't gonna help you. It certainly fucking doesn't help you. You're just sitting in your same house after you're done with it, right? Do something positive for your fucking self for once, okay? That's why I'm the king of hate, because I'm the king of that hatred against me. I own it, and I become a fucking powerful person when I feel motivated from people telling me that I suck and I can't do something. I wouldn't fucking be here if it weren't otherwise. In the Street Fighter community, I never would have won a tournament. In a fucking anything I ever did in my life, I never would have done anything. I am successful because of that ownership. Alright? So, you want to tell me that I suck? Fine. You say whatever the fuck you want about me. Alright? But now, things have changed. As they say, the game has fucking changed. Because now I've gotten someone who wants to hurt me, physically. And I've let it all go up to now. Of course, I have addressed certain things. And by no means do you think that I'm ever going to address in this video someone specific on the internet. I am not. So don't take that the wrong way at all. But, from now on, I am publicly stating this, and I hope that anyone with a morality inside of them, whether you like me or not, that you're going to understand where I'm coming from with this. There is criticism, and there is negativity, hate, slander, and a desire to hurt. And there is a large difference between them. I'm going to give you an example of someone who I thought, quite honestly, did not like me. I thought that their intention was to hurt me. And after getting to know this person, I respect them greatly as a person. And I actually think that it's one of the most stand-up people that I've ever met on the internet. And I'm going to give him a shout out. And he might get pissed off about it. But I'm going to give him his props. His name is Daz Bullshit. And he has made parody series about me on YouTube. About how I don't edit my videos and I'm lazy. And all these things about my work ethic and stuff like that. And how I'm the case of a bad YouTuber, right? Someone who just rushes videos out and I don't give a shit because I'm making money, so why the hell would I care about the quality of my videos? And as much as it did irk me when he started doing videos, parody videos, even, parody personas that looked like me, right, in his videos, and he was doing stuff like that. It irked me, I'm gonna be honest, it does. When you see shit like that, people making fun of you, of course you feel it, right? But there was a grain of truth in everything that he said. A grain of fucking truth in there, alright? And after watching some of the stuff that he put out about me, I relaunched my website, I put up my forums or whatever, he started posting on there. And he started posting positive, constructive things about me and how I can improve. He started saying things such as, Phil, you could do this as something positive of a series. Phil, I would love to see you play this game and tackle it like this. Phil, if you did a serious method of editing or doing this. He would give me these really concrete, positive suggestions of how to improve my content. This is someone who had gotten lots of popularity making fun of me, but said, no, I'm willing to help you. That is the kind of criticism I fucking need. That's the kind of criticism everyone needs. When you can't see a shortcoming of yourself in the mirror, and someone comes up to you and shows it to you, and you can say, okay, and then they work with you positively, that's the kind of criticism that people need, alright? But the problem is, there's an overwhelming amount of people, okay, where they think that because they took a video game series or playthrough that I did, and they edit together the times when I failed, which, by the way, most people fail when they play video games. Most people don't fucking record that and then put it on the internet, alright? But you edit those epic fails or whatever, you make a "this is how you don't play" montage, you edit in some really negative shit that people said about me in the YouTube comments, you slap it and, wow, this is funny, oh, you know, I've said this a million times, it's like the TMZ of the internet is YouTube hates Phil because Phil is this kind of person who sucks at games, so let's all laugh at him collectively, right? Who cares what I'm doing in my private life? Who cares if there's a game that I sucked at? It shouldn't be big news, but they turned the most negative, one-sided shit into, like, drama, popular drama. And that's what happened with me is through the years of 2012 through now, is that people have become popular drama to make fun of me on YouTube. And that's not productive. There's a difference between constructive criticism that I can take to improve and literally just trying to fucking hurt someone. And I will say this, okay? I will say this. By no means do I think that I am a flawless person. I would be the biggest, most ignorant, hypocritical fucking person on the planet to say that I was flawless and I never did anything wrong. I'm an incredibly flawed person. There are moments where I get so overcome with anger and you know, hatred and just being upset about things, and I say things that I don't mean, just like every person. But again, I'm the person who's made over 40,000 videos and uploaded them to YouTube. I'm the person who has shared pretty much 8 to 10 hours of my waking life with everyone for every day for the past 7 years. So unlike everyone else on the internet, I'm the case. I'm the target of the person who's easiest target, right? So I understand that I am flawed. And you can point out those flaws, but to represent to the internet that is all that I am is not only irresponsible, it is immoral, it is wrong, it is incorrect. And it has personally hurt me and my business. It has hurt my girlfriend Leanna. It has hurt my family, people who have found my parents' information and tried to hurt them. It has hurt my friends. Don't get me wrong, all right? I'm not stupid to think that people who have been associated with me have not been part of this and have been affected negatively by the shit that's gone on with me. There have been people who have been incredibly negatively affected just because they were associated with me, all right? And I wish that I could change it, but you can't. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I wish that I could. I wish that there was something that I could do. I can't. You can't change the past, and you can't change what other people will do, right? But I will say this. There is a difference between criticism and what these fucking people have done to me on the internet, all right? And as of right now, I'm laying down the fucking law. If you want to give me legit criticism, go for it. I am never going to reject a legit criticism. But from this moment on, I want everyone who's watching this video to listen up and to please give this a shot. When you see someone on Twitter saying some shit about me, responding like in a really nasty fucking way to something that I said, when you see a ridiculously one-sided, slanted video on YouTube of stuff, gee, they took a quote from here and a quote from there, and they're working this negative case against Phil, right? I want you to say, Phil almost died. Phil could have been shot to death by these people. Not to say that the people who are making that video or making that tweet are the ones who did this today and swatted me. But those people inadvertently contributed to it. Because the bottom line is, in 2012, when this whole negativity movement started, people loved me. They thought, wow, Phil is a good person on YouTube, and he makes gameplay videos, and he's been here since 2008. He did it for 2 years before he ever made $1 doing it, and people absolutely love his content. All of a sudden in 2012, when people started, oh, let's do this, let's make funny montages of Phil failing, the whole internet changes and goes against me, right? Was there a moment when did I come out here in full, you know, some kind of fucking Nazi regalia? Did I come out here saying racist shit and epithets and shooting guns off? No, there may have been moments in my content where there were jokes that were related to stuff like that, but they were jokes versus me actually coming out and trying to really insult groups of people. Okay? It never happened. No matter how people want to skew shit that I've said, and people want to take one moment or maybe one off-color joke that maybe I should or should not have fucking said, yeah, then you could say, if you only see that one isolated moment out of 40,000 videos, that Phil is a racist, or Phil, there's a reason to hate Phil, and we should kill Phil. But the bottom line is, today, I was threatened physically with murder. And I am not going to put up with this shit anymore. And I'm not going to allow any of these fucking people to think that it is okay to make this negative shit about me, because this is what happens, right? Shame on you if you've ever made a "this is how you don't play" about me. If you ever decided to follow me, make a clone account on Twitter, do this childish shit on YouTube, if you thought it was funny to dox me, if you thought it was the DDoS attacks were funny, you almost got me killed. You. Yes, you. You're responsible. And if you are a human and you have morality in you, you should understand that. You contributed to it. Because no one fucking thought of me in a negative light until that shit fucking started. No one. People understood it was off-color jokes, and it was just Phil trying to be funny. And, you know, I've told you, I'm an imperfect human. I'm certainly not perfect. There have been times when I made mistakes. That doesn't mean that people should fucking die. So fuck you. And seriously, I think that's where I'm going to leave it. Because that's it. That's the bottom line. Today, we're going to see the truth of the matter. We're going to see the true hearts of people. Because if there are people who continue to do the negative shit about me after today when I almost could have died, now you're going to see what kind of people they are. People who say, okay, you know what? Fair enough. We criticized the shit out of Phil. His business has took a big negative hit in the past couple of years because of it. And we all did it in the name of criticism. Today, Phil almost died. I think we'll lay off of him. But there will be people who will still keep it up. Those are the people who you need to look at and say, what the fuck? And everyone just needs to collectively say, enough. Shun that fucking negativity. Take those people and ship them off to their own special corner of the fucking internet where they can have all their little perversions to themselves. And we can be normal fucking people here and enjoy daily experiences together and sharing in stories about gaming and pop culture and fun and positivity and try to help each other through shit like this. And not have to worry about that there's people out there who only are following you because they are fucking really nasty, evil fucking creatures. And that's really all I have to say. That's really all I have to say. You know? That's it. That's all I have to say. If you don't like me, you have the right to not like me. But you don't have the right to slander me and destroy me on YouTube, to make me the laughingstock straw man of the bad gaming YouTuber, so that now people are trying to kill me. You don't have that fucking right. And now that the guns were pointed at me today, now I have the fucking right to stand up and say, fuck you, I'm not taking that shit anymore. No, not acceptable anymore. I got thick skin, but I'm not gonna let people try to fucking kill me. Anyone who does that negative shit, fuck you. You don't deserve that right anymore. Because as of today, this was the end result of your irresponsible actions. Yours, not mine. I took precautions when I moved out here to try to protect my identity, to try to protect my address, to try to protect my IP. I've got all these fail-safes. I've got these protections. You are the ones that made people fucking hate me for stupid shit. Stupid. Stupid, out of character, out of my normal content shit. That's what you focused on, because you wanted cheap views for your fucking channels and you wanted to get popular. You couldn't do it with anything creative, so you had to fucking come at someone who was an easy target. I'm the easy target because I don't have professional backing. I don't make a ton of money where I can hire lawyers and protective teams. You found the easy target and you fucking shot the bullets. It's like shooting a sitting duck. Wow. Congratulations, you almost got me killed. Is that what you really wanted? Is that what you intended? Because that's what you fucking done. So, at this point, I've pretty much, at this point, cleansed myself of the anger. I'm sweating here. I've cleansed myself of the anger. I've cleansed myself of being upset at this point. I am not going to allow this to negatively affect my business or anything moving forward. Every day, I'm going to continue to live stream. Every day, I'm going to continue to play the games I want to play. I will be continuing to do being a YouTuber, being a streamer, being an entertainer, being a person, being real on the internet like I am every fucking day of my life. I'm going to continue to do that. And you can like me or you can hate me. That's perfectly fine. And you have the right to do that. But I have a right to live. Okay? I have a right to fucking live. And if you have any kind of morality inside of you, you will understand that fact. And if you are one of those people who maybe, oh, I really don't like Phil, you'll lay off. All right? There's going to be people who aren't listening who will not. They're not. They're shut off. They're in their own bubbles. When I was a young kid, I'll speak from my own experience. When I was a young kid, okay, I had way too much fucking free time. I did. And I felt at one point in my life that my life was going nowhere. I did. I thought that no matter what I did in my life, it was if I got this job or that job, if I went to school, if I had this girlfriend or that girlfriend or whatever was going on in my life, I thought that I had a dead-end life. I didn't like where I was. I didn't like who I was. I didn't like how I looked. I didn't like anything around me, my financial situation. I absolutely hated my life to the point where I said, I'm going to be negative about shit and I'm going to hurt others. I'll be honest. I was there. I was in the shoes. If you're one of those people, I was in your shoes. I used to go on forums. I used to go on places like shoryuken.com, and I would find people that I didn't like and I would troll them. After every post they made, I would insult them or make them look bad. I was there. Okay? I understand that shit. But after a while of doing that, I realized it wasn't improving my life. You know what I mean? It wasn't doing anything positive for me. And I took that and I balled it up and I turned it into motivation. And even though it took quite some fucking time for me to find something that I could actually be successful at, I did it. All right? And you can too. I am very much of the impression, okay, that everyone out there has that capability. There's just some people that don't want to try because it's hard. It's easy to pick the easy target, right? It's easy to attack the person next to you and make fun of the person next to you for the shortcoming. It's hard for you to look at yourself and find out what's a shortcoming in you so that you can overcome that shortcoming and you can be successful too. I sound like I'm a motivational speaker now, and as of tomorrow, I'm releasing my new novel. No, I'm joking, obviously. But seriously, if I give you any kind of advice in life, it's to never think that things are hopeless and to never think that you can have something positive for yourself or that things can get better. They can, and it's not only you. I've seen people out there who's, oh, it's your fault. In life, if you're constantly a failure, it's your fault. That's bullshit. Because I failed, and I failed, and I failed, and I failed, and I even to some extent succeeded in things only to be told you failed anyway, right? I got commendations at jobs and laid off 3 months later. But if you keep the fuck at it and you don't give up, you will eventually get success. At least in my life experience, that's what it's been. And I will fully tell you, yes, it is part luck, and it is part skill. But you can't just give up and to become someone who just has to be negative about everything. That's when you've truly given the fuck up, okay? So that is it, everyone. I'm going to end the video here. I'm going to leave it at this. I want to say thank you to those of you who continuously support me, who are always there for me. There are tons of people who were so concerned about me today when this whole thing went down. I'm fine. We're fine. We're going to be fine. You know what I mean? The police are well aware of what's going on at this point. And I do, like I said, I'm not going to allow this to live in fear, because that's terrorism. That's the epitome of terrorism is when you alter your normal life because you're afraid. And I could say, well, I'm afraid now. I'm afraid the cops could come kill me or whatever. So that's it. I quit. But I'm not ever going to do that. I'm fucking still here. I'm still going to enjoy games with you. And that's what this is all fucking about. And we're about to go. Literally, as I finish this video, I'm going right back the fuck into it. All right? Thank you, everyone, for being patient. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And let's end it at that. Let's move forward positively. Let's have a good life together. And let's forget about this nasty shit. Fair enough? Fair enough. Peace the fuck out.